भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः।
ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। यन्नित्यमानन्दमनन्तमेकं शिवेति नाम्ना श्रुतयो गृह्णन्ति तस्यावतारो नररूपधारी कृपासुदाब्धि भुवि रामकृष्णः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोः श्रुत्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याता सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। यस्यात्मभूतस्य गुरोः प्रसादात् अहं विमुक्तोऽस्मि शरीरबन्धात्। सर्वोपदेष्टुः पुरुषोत्तमस्य तस्याङ्घ्रियुग्मं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्। We are seeing the analysis of fourth shloka of Ramakrishna Aratrikam. Drumbite Yuga Ishvare Jagadishvare Yoga Sahai Nirodhane Samahitamane Niraki Tavakrupai. O Lord, you are the master of this creation. You are the cause of this creation. You have manifested as Avatara in this Kali Yuga, and you are the guide of spiritual seekers. Out of your grace, I am able to see you with a pure and concentrated mind. This is the general meaning of this shloka. Here, Swamiji uses Vedantic words. One among them is Jagadishvaraha. Bhagavan is revealed in our Vedantic scriptures as Jagadishvaraha. Jagadishvaraha means the ruler of this creation, cause of this creation. Jagat means creation, Ishvaraha means ruler. Jagadishvaraha means ruler of this creation. What rules the creation? When we ask, Vedanta says, cause alone rules creation. A product is ruled by the cause. If ornament is a product, that is ruled by or determined by, the type of ornament is determined by cause of the ornament. There are two causes of the ornament. One is intelligent cause, the jeweler. Another one is basic material, the gold. In another example, if you take pot as a product, potter is the intelligent cause and clay is the material cause. So both the cause put together rule the product. So in the vision of Vedanta, creation being a product, both the causes are Ishvaraha alone. This was revealed in various Vedantic mantras. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayanti abhisamvishanti. Yato va imani bhutani jayante, from which entire creation has manifested. Yena jatani jivanti, by which This entire creation is sustained. Yat prayantyabhisamvishanti, into which the entire creation resolves. Like that, various Upanishadic mantras reveal the nature of the Lord. Sadeva saumya idamagra asid ekameva advitiyam brahma tadaikshata sokamayata bahusyam praja eeti satapotapyata satapastaptva idagum sarvam asrujata. That Satyavasti alone existed and it wanted to become many, therefore entire creation has come out of that Satyavastu. This is the definition of Ishvara given in the Upanishad. This Vedantic vision is very, very unique. No branch of philosophy or theology reveals this uniqueness of Ishvara. If you take any other religion, those religious theologies say that Ishvara is the creator, but he created out of nothing. There was no basic material, out of nothing he has created. That is, intelligent cause alone is Ishvara. Like that they say. If you go to scientists, science say there is basic material, but there is no need for a creator. One side accept the creator, intelligent cause, and deny the basic material. Another side accept the basic material but deny the intelligent cause. Vedanta says Ishvara must be both intelligent cause and material cause. Generally in our perception, in worldly perception, we find material cause is different from the intelligent cause. Clay is different from the potter. Gold is different from the jeweler. But here Vedanta says that rule will not apply here, because if you differentiate the intelligent cause and the material cause, there will be a lot of problems. For example, Judeo-Christian theologies explain the God as the creator, but deny the necessity of basic material. So when they say the God in heaven created the creation, naturally lots of questions come for which they don't have any answer. If God in heaven created the creation, first question is, who created that heaven? Where was God before the creation of heaven? And who created the basic material of this creation? Where it was kept separately? Like that, varieties of questions for which they don't have answer at all. And if you go to scientists, they accept basic material. They have named that basic material as God particle. They don't accept God, but that basic material is given name God particle. And they are yet to find out what it is. They are in search of it. But they accept there must be a basic material, because you cannot create anything new. Something must be there that has manifested in this form, that's all. You cannot create anything new, you cannot destroy what exists. So what they say is there is a basic material, but there is no need for a creator. Then Vedanta asks few questions for which they also don't have answer. If there is no need for an intelligent cause, how this creation is in an orderly manner? Entire creation is in orderly manner. Everything happens in orderliness. That's why the very science can exist. The science can predict so many billions of years before this comet has come, so many billions of years before this galaxy has come. Like that, they can predict the past. Means what? There is a rhythm, there is a predictability. The very predictability is possible only when there is a preciseness. So entire creation, whether it is macrocosm or microcosm, external world or internal world, individual, everything is in orderliness. Take for example microcosm, our own body. Every part of the body is designed properly. Anywhere design problem is, the person becomes a physically challenged person. So there is a preciseness. And if you take the macrocosm, galaxies after galaxies are there, and everything works in a very, very systematic way. That's why it is called a cosmos. It is not a chaotic one. And second reason is, a product is an assemblage. Any product is an assemblage. Anything in the creation is put together intelligently, whether it is atom or the vast space. Anything in the creation is put together. If you take atom, it is put together by electron, neutron and proton. Like that, smallest thing in the creation is an assemblage. Assemblage means what? Put together. A car is an assemblage. A mobile phone is an assemblage. A pen is an assemblage. A table is an assemblage. There is a product which is the assemblage, presupposes the intelligent cause. There are lots of hardware and softwares are there put together intelligently. It is not put together haphazardly. Very intelligently it is put together. Like that, any product in the creation, whether it is body or the inert matter, all are put together, all are working precisely, all are useful for the other living being. Therefore, there must be an intelligent cause. And Vedanta says that cause is one and the same. Intelligent cause and basic material cause is one and the same. From the standpoint of intelligent cause, Ishvara is addressed as Bhagavan. From the standpoint of material cause, same Ishvara is addressed as Bhagavati. He and she. That is why in our Indian culture, Bhagavan is both male and female. Here Vedanta says, other than my revelation, there is no other possibility. You can never separate the intelligent cause, the maker, and the material cause, because without one, another cannot exist. If you separate intelligent cause and material cause, there must be some separating demarcation. For example, clay is there, potter is there. There must be demarcation between these two in the form of space. Correct? Clay is different from potter, which is differentiated by the space. But when you take the entire creation, you cannot separate the material cause from the maker, and you can never know the maker as a different entity from the creation. Nor you can deny the presence of the maker. Like scientists deny the presence of the maker, you cannot do that. You cannot prove the maker as a product of the matter. Science say intelligence is a product of matter. Why human being is intelligent? What is the reason for intelligence of the human being? Science say it's all because of neuron currents. That means it is a product of material. So these things don't have any validity. Therefore, in Vedanta, beautifully it is revealed, Tasmad etasmad atmana akasha sambhutaha akashad vayuhu vayoragnihi agnerapah adbyah prithvi prithvyam oshadayah oshadibhyonnam annad purushaha. The order of creation is given. Tasmad etasmad atmanaha. From this conscious entity, Akasha has manifested. First manifestation of the conscious entity is Akasha, space. Akashad vayuhu. Then air. Vayoragnihi, fire. Agnerapaha, water. Adbyah prithvi, from water this earth has come. Prithvyam oshadayaha, out of earth all these oshadis. Oshadis means plant kingdom. Oshadibhyonnam. Food is plant kingdom alone. For entire creation, food is plant kingdom alone. We may ask, why Swamiji? There are non-vegetarian food also are there. Shastra says, non-vegetarian food is nothing but recycled vegetarian food. Goat eats grass, human being eat goat. So there is nothing called non-vegetarian food. Oshadibhyo annam. Annam means food. Food means Oshadi alone. Plant kingdom alone, food. You take directly that plant kingdom, or you may take the recycled plant kingdom, which is nothing but animal kingdom. That is why basic food is not allowed to move. You imagine a person is very hungry. If he goes and tries to pluck that mango fruit, if mango flies, what will happen? Imagine. But it happens with regard to animals, certain animals. Tiger is very hungry, it wants to catch a deer. Will the deer invite tiger? Come my dear, I am deer, come my dear, eat me, like that? No, food is running. The hungry tiger has to run behind it. 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers. Then it may get, it may not get. So basic food is plant kingdom, therefore it should not run away from the hungry person. So entire creation is given in an orderly manner. Why this creation? So kamayate bahusyam praja eti. Vedanta says he wanted to play with himself. You might have observed children, when they don't have any playmates, they will sit this side of the carom board and give a tick, then they will go that side of the carom board and again they will play. Like a small child who wants to play with himself or herself. So kamayate bahusyam praja eti. Let me become many. Let me become this creation. Tat srishtva tadevanupravishat. Having created this creation, the very creator has entered, manifested as the living being. First Shastra told, he is the intelligent cause and material cause. And it described the reason for this creation, that he just want to play. Then third one is, he himself is playing. It may appear to us as a cock and bull story. But in our daily life, we are going through this experience. If you take our dream world, who is the intelligent cause of the dream world? Dreamer's mind. Who is the material cause of the dream world? Dreamer's mind. In dream world, there are roads and railway roads and trains, flights, people, all are there. From where this raw material he has brought? From his own mind. So, both the intelligent cause and the material cause of the dream world is the dreamer's mind. Then, so kamayate bahusyam praja eti. There are a lot of people roaming around in the dream world. Who are they? Dreamer's mind. And you are also there inside the dream, you are chased by a thief. Tat srishtva tadevanupravishat. Having created the dream world, dream material, dream living beings, who is there enjoying the dream world? You, your own mind. So one and the same cause is both intelligent cause and material cause, and pervaded as all living beings and as the enjoyer Bhokta also. So Vedanta says there is none other than the Lord in this entire creation. There is no second entity at all other than the Lord, because the Lord alone is the intelligent cause, material cause, enjoyer, enjoyed objects. All are Bhagavan alone. Therefore only he is named as Vishwamurtihi. In Vishnu Sahasranama, first word for Bhagavan is what you know? Vishwam Vishnuhu Vashatkaro. Sahasranama means 1,000 names of the one and the same Lord. What is the first name? Vishwam. Sahasrashirsham Devam Vishwaksham Vishwashambhuvam Vishwam Narayanam Devam Aksharam Paramam Padam Vishwatah Paraman Nityam Vishwam Narayanagam Harim. Vishwam is equal to Narayanaha is equal to Harihi. So that is the very, very unique revelation, and this revelation is the cause for entire Sanatana Dharma and its culture. It's a revelation. About a fact, it is a revelation. Like eyes reveal the existence of objects in the world, similarly, Veda Pramanam, which is a source of knowledge, reveal the existence of that entity which is not available for sense perceptions. What entity? The conscious entity is not available for sense perception, not even for the mind. Therefore only it is revealed by Veda Pramanam. Since it is revealed by a Veda Pramanam, source of knowledge, valid source of knowledge, it is a fact. Human being doesn't have any argument to falsify this revelation. Human mind doesn't have any argument. It cannot say that God is not the creator, because no proof is there. People say, no, there is no God. So Shastra says, there is nothing but God. Atheists say, God is nowhere. God is nowhere. Then the atheist son reads that statement, God is now here. God is nowhere is written on the name board of an atheist. So atheist son reads, God, God is NOW, now HERE, here. So when atheist says God is nowhere, Vedanta says God is now here. Where? Whatever you see is nothing but God. Idam Brahma, idam Kshatram, ime Loka, ime Deva, ime Veda, imani Bhutani, idagam Sarvam, yadayam Atma. Whatever living being you name, whatever product you name, after naming it, you have to put a verb called is. Table is. Human being is. That is. This is. That isness is called God. Whatever exists is Bhagavan alone. Because of this revelation only, Hindu culture have no objection in worshipping any blessed form in the world. Others are all terrified when they see Hindus worship a snake. When Hindus worship rats, Hindus worship bull, cow, milestone, turmeric powder. Ganesha Chaturthi, Ganesha has become very costly. So uncle doesn't bring Ganesha from market. Auntie told, don't worry, I will create Ganesha. From where? You know that art of creating Ganesha? Wait. She goes to kitchen and takes out that masala dabba, wherein turmeric powder is there, which was used in sambar yesterday, cooking time. Balanced turmeric powder. She adds water and creates a form, a lump of turmeric powder, and puts there on the altar, and puts a kumkumam, and she says, Asmin aridra bimbe mahaganapatim avahayami. In that small lump of turmeric powder, she invites Mahaganapati to manifest. Bhagavan cannot say, I am very stout, this is very small, how can I enter? Bhagavan cannot say, because Bhagavan knows that very turmeric powder is my own manifestation. A milestone is in the creation, but Hindu doesn't have any problem in worshipping that. Hindu doesn't have any problem in worshipping any other religious forms in any other religions. We don't have problem in worshipping crescent or cross. Why? Because even a peasant, even a farmer knows in India, who is born and brought up this culture, even a peasant and a farmer knows that everything is Bhagavan. That is why that stale 1 rupee note, it has fallen down. Unknowingly, if you step on it, what you will do? You take it and give respect. Sorry, you tell. A newspaper which is nothing but lying. Suppose if you step on that newspaper, what you do? Unknowingly you give respect. Sorry, you ask pardon. A bus driver sits on the steering. Before starting the bus, he prays, Bhagavan, this bus should not make my life bus. So I have to come back safely. No other culture. Even if the government is secular government, when it wants to send a rocket to Mangal Graha, they brought a priest and did puja. Secular government. But all government officials, what they do? They do puja. Because idagam sarvam yadayam atma. You ask anyone in this culture, where is Bhagavan? He will ask, where is he not? He is there in the smallest thing and the biggest thing. This knowledge gave birth to unique Indian culture. And that uniqueness is Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuta Vadanti. Truth is one. The knowledgeable people, wise men describe it in any way. You can understand it any way. Therefore, Shastra says, try to understand this revelation which will enrich your life. First benefit of this understanding is, we will be free from fear and anxiety. I will explain. From childhood onwards, we have an unknown fear psychosis. That is why every child wants the mother to be with. When mother has to go out, mother makes sure that I am nearby you by giving handkerchief or by giving a nipple. What does it mean? According to the child, mother is nearby. By smell only, the child can recognize the presence of mother. So when the child smells the handkerchief of the mother, the child thinks that I am with mother. When the child sucks the nipple, the child thinks that I am sucking the mother. So that fear psychosis is there. Who will protect me? Who will make me happy? Who is the cause of my security, peace and happiness? This question is there from our childhood. Every child thinks that mother is the cause of my security, peace and happiness. As even the child grows, mother doesn't fulfill that faith of the child. Mother says, I am not the cause of your security because I myself need security. If I see a cockroach, I will fall down. To give security, peace and happiness, mother should be omniscient and omnipotent entity. Then only she can know the dangers which can come to the child and she has the power to destroy those dangers. She must be omniscient and omnipotent entity. But as far as child is concerned, mother is the omniscient and omnipotent entity. That's why when he is beaten by some other child, the child says, I will go and tell my mother. When mother says, my dear, I cannot be with you all the while. You have to go to school. You have to be away from me. So I am not the source of your security. I am not the source of your happiness. Sometimes mother cajoles the child, sometimes scolds the child. When mother scolds the child thinks, what is this? So far I thought she will be source of happiness. Now she is the source of my unhappiness. So the trust is breached. Then child's mind goes towards the father. When mother herself fails in this test, what poor father can do? He comes with all angry mood and child doesn't know how much fire is there with father. Papa, like that, when child comes and hugs, immediately this fellow treats the child like a demon. And early morning, he cajoles the child. Then child is very, very confused. Yesterday night he kicked me. Now he is cajoling. So again the trust is breached. Then the seeking goes towards friends. Friends also become the source of happiness for some time, source of unhappiness sometime. Then from friend to life partner. You have to protect me. You should be the source of happiness, like that. Both the spouse tell to each other initially, yes, you are honey, you are honey. I love you, I love you. Then after 6 months, I love you. Go anywhere. Then the trust is breached. So whole life human being is searching for one entity who is the source of security, peace and happiness. Who is that entity? If anyone assures security, peace and happiness, that entity must be an omniscient, omnipotent entity. Who is there as an omniscient and omnipotent entity in the world other than Bhagavan? When Vedanta says, next to you he is available. Whatever you see in this creation is Bhagavan. When you know this truth, about which you will be afraid of, please tell. We are afraid of other living beings, but when we know that other living beings are Bhagavan only, my beloved Bhagavan only, then I have no cause for fear at all. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to say a beautiful simile. Father comes to home and knocks the door, child opens the door. Father is wearing tiger mask. Then child cries out of fear. When the father removes that mask, the tiger face mask, then child hugs. 1 minute before the child thought that it is tiger. Now the child understands that it is my beloved father. Similarly, in our life, we consider every other being, every situation, every object as a threat to our life. We handle them very carefully. Even though it is electricity without which we cannot live at all, how we handle? Very carefully. Gas cylinder, how we handle? Very carefully. Husband, wife, how we handle? Very, very carefully. So we expect something from them without being hurt by them. You understand? We expect nice thing from every blessed thing in the creation without being hurt by that entity. Who is that entity which cannot hurt me at all? When we ask, Shastra reveals Bhagavan alone. Most beloved, because he doesn't have any selfishness. He doesn't have any desire, therefore he need not hurt you. He doesn't have any selfishness, therefore he need not cheat you. He doesn't have any anger, therefore he need not punish you. Therefore find out that infallible entity. Please note this word, infallible entity. Infallible means achyutaha in Sanskrit, na chutihi yasya. your trust will never be breached. With regard to every blessed thing in the creation, our trust is breached. Even though it is a most beloved dog, that dog bites one day. Correct? This fellow gives kicks and allows the dogs to sit next to him and lie down in his own bed and cajoles, kisses. So many things happen. One day what happens to dog? Dog itself doesn't know. Gives a beautiful bite. Then you have to go for hospital. Like that, from the trust, it will never fall. What is that entity? Achyutaha. Infallible entity. That infallible entity is Bhagavan, who is available in the form of the very creation. If everything is Bhagavan, about which I will be afraid of. If everything is Bhagavan, with which I will be angry. Which one I will hate in my life? With which I will fight? Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva bhut vijanataha tatra ko mohaha kashokaha ekatvam anupashyataha. When I understand that entire creation is nothing but the one and the same manifestation of the Lord, with what I will be afraid of, towards which I will be running. Our life, entire life is either pravritti or nivritti. We run towards a source of happiness. We run away from source of unhappiness. That's what entire life. Anything you take in your life, either it is source of happiness or source of unhappiness according to you. If you find that it is a source of happiness, then you go towards it. If you find that it is a source of unhappiness, you immediately try to come out of it. This fellow goes to Hanuman temple and prays to Hanuman. Hanumanji, you made Sita and Rama to come together. Why can't you help us? Hanumanji sees this astrology. This fellow doesn't have this prarabdha. What to do? He goes on, prays and gives lot of archana, coconut and banana offering. Because of his persuasion, Hanumanji, all right, he says. So these two people got married. Then after 6 months, this fellow goes to same Hanuman temple. Then he asks Hanuman, I wanted you to make me happy like you made Sita and Rama happy. But when I wanted Sita, you brought Shurpanaka. Then Hanumanji says, didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? So everything in our life is either source of happiness or unhappiness. When we find it is a source of happiness, we go near to it. And when we find it is a source of unhappiness, we come away from it. Shastra says there is nothing called source of unhappiness at all, because everything is source of happiness, which is nothing but Bhagavan alone. Therefore only in this culture we respect entire creation. We respect Panchabhutas as the manifestation of the Lord. We worship mountains, rivers, forests, animals, birds, aquatic creatures, Matsya Avatara, Kurma Avatara. Then we worship even human beings also. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is a mantra which says how a father should conduct himself when he becomes a father. When child is born and that child is handed over to father, how a father should conduct, how a father should treat that newborn child. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says the child should be put on the ground and father should kneel down before the child and bow down to the child, telling this mantra, Vedosi, Vedosi, Vedosi. Vedaha means Bhagavan, one of the name of Bhagavan. You are Bhagavan, you are Bhagavan, you are Bhagavan. You have come in my life to enrich my happiness and peace. Therefore, my salute to you. Then the child should be handed over to mother, requesting the mother. Husband addresses wife. Oh Saraswati, Lord has come in our family. Please give the knowledge mill to this Lord. This is mantra. This mantra should be known by whom? By the householder. Unfortunately, sannyasi knows this. No householder knows this. The vision of a parent is given in that mantra. Father treats mother of the child as Saraswati. Father treats the child as Bhagavan himself. So he says, I cannot name you Bhagavan. If I name you Bhagavan, I have to name Bhagavan 1, Bhagavan 2, Bhagavan 3. And every fellow will name same name, Bhagavan 1, Bhagavan 2. So confusion will be there. For transaction purpose, I will name one of the name of Bhagavan. Vishnu, Krishna, Rama, in this culture, all the children are given Lord's name. Why you know? This is the vision. But unfortunately now slowly culture is changing. Now when we ask children their name, children say Timpy, Pimpy, like that. I don't understand what it is. What is Timpy and Pimpy? So in the vision of a Hindu, in the vision of a Vaidika, entire life is a spiritual journey because of this one revelation. Because I cannot get rid of Bhagavan, even if I want. Very Akasha is Bhagavan. How can I get rid of Akasha? Please tell. Very air is Bhagavan. Namaste Vayu Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami. Vayu is there, na? That is a Pratyaksham Brahma. Why Shastra says it is Pratyaksham? Why it is Pratyaksham? Because we cannot perceive Akasha. Even though we are living in Akasha, we cannot perceive Akasha, but we can know intimately the value of air. If you go and ask asthma patient, he will tell every breath is value. If you get inside the water, he will know every breath is a valuable one. Pratyaksham Brahmasi. We want to know what is the meaning of Pratyaksham Brahmasi. Get inside a water pond and drown yourself for 2-3 minutes. When you come out, how you come out? You will come out with all urge to have this darshan of Pratyaksham Brahma. Who is that Pratyaksham Brahma? Vayu Bhagavan. Then of course fire is seen by our eyes, water is seen by our eyes, and Prithvi is seen by our eyes. So how can I differentiate? How can I isolate from the presence of Lord? Okay, Panchabhutas are Bhagavan. What about living beings? Living beings also are Bhagavan. What about life principle? Life principle also is Bhagavan. As long as that life principle is in that particular body, that body is named as Sir and Madam. When we address Sir or Madam or Uncle or Auntie, whom we are addressing? Does the address goes to body or some other entity? I might have told this example. I repeat it. A person is died. His wife is crying. How she will cry? My husband has passed away. Like that she will cry. A Swami like me who doesn't have any work, go that side and ask mother why you are crying. What she will tell? My husband passed away. Keeping the dead body of the husband, what she will tell? My husband passed away. The Swami being mischievous, he asks, mother, he is lying here. How can he say that he has passed away? Then what the mother will tell? Swami, don't you know this simple fact? This is my husband's body, not my husband. If husband's body is not husband, please tell who is that husband. If husband's body is not husband, wife's body also is not wife. Child's body also is not child. Nobody's body is nobody. Then who is that entity? Shastra says, Kohyevanyat kapranyat yadesha akasha anando nasyat. Who can have even a moment that life if there is no manifestation of that Lord? Kohyevanyat kapranyat. Who can have a breath? Yadesha akasha anando nasyat. When there is no manifestation of this all-pervasive entity, how a living being can live even for a moment? So, this vision makes our entire life as a happy affair. When a wife transacts with husband, she transacts with God. When a mother transacts with child, she transacts with God. When husband transacts with wife, he transacts with God. When a person transacts with neighbor, he transacts with the God. This is the vision which has to be cultivated in our life, because of which our entire life will be a happy affair. No possibility of insecurity, no possibility of disappointment, no possibility of unhappiness. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to say to a mother when she complained, whenever I sit for meditation, my grandchild comes in my mind like that. He used to say, consider your grandchild as Krishna. So this attitude, which is born out of this Vedantic revelation, makes a human life very happy affair. So we should cultivate this, because of which we will not have ahankara and mamakara. What is ahankara? Considering one's own particular body as oneself. Considering certain small things in the creation as belonging of oneself. Suppose somebody asks, who are you? What we tell? We point out this physical body and give a biodata, which is the cause of bhaya. Biodata is the cause of bhaya. I am so and so, son of so and so, born on so and so date, going to die, date I don't know, growing, graying and decaying. Growing, graying and decaying. There is a mrityu bhaya. Why this mrityu bhaya? Because I consider this perishable, one particular body as myself. If I understand all the bodies in the creation is Bhagavan's body or body of the conscious entity, which is my own real nature, then where is the question of mrityu bhayam? I consider certain small things in my life as my own belongings. My own chair, my own notebook, my own pen, my own building, house, like that, my own children. Then Shastra says, Ayo. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to say, Ishvara used to laugh when two brothers fight for a small portion of property, telling that this is my property, this is my property. Bhagavan laughs. Bhagavan laughs because he knows that is his property. It is his property. Hey, it is my property. You are allowed here to stay for some time, that's all. You have to vacate. Even if you don't want to vacate, we will vacate. We have department of disposing department. Yamadharma Raja is there and his fellows are there. We will vacate. However much beautiful person you are, however much intelligent person you are, however much powerful person you are, you will be vacated. Disposal squad are there. It is my place. So Bhagavan laughs. Then second moment, when a doctor says to a mother whose child is admitted in the hospital, doctor says, don't worry, tomorrow early morning I will perform operation, I will cure your child. Then Bhagavan laughs. Night itself my disposal squad are going to come and dispose this fellow doctor, and he is telling as though he is going to leave next day morning and going to perform operation. It's all funny things. Entire creation is a gift. The human life is a gift Parentage is a gift. Body is a gift. Intellect is a gift. Panchabhutas are gift. Living beings, flora, fauna, aquatic creatures, all are gift. We have not brought anything. Did we bring any oxygen cylinder? So our Acharya Swamiji used to say, this entire creation is a all-star hotel. It's an all-star hotel. You might have heard 5-star hotel, 7-star hotel. But Bhagavan has given all-star hotel. And flying hotel. Why it is hotel? Hotel is a place where you cannot stay permanently. Do you agree? That's called hotel. Meaning of hotel is what? Even the manager of the hotel cannot stay permanently. House is a place where you can stay relatively. But hotel is a place wherein your stay is very, very limited period. So when we come to this hotel called world, we come with empty hand. We don't bring any luggage. Credit card, debit card is there with us, that's all. Punya and Papa. Like a 5-star hotel, when you go, you did not bring anything. Even towel also they are giving, soap, everything they will give. But one thing they will make sure, sir, do you have debit card? Master card is there, Visa card is there. Okay sir, please, come in. He will give you a salute. And room boy will come and open the room and he will tell, this is the room allotted for you, sir. Similarly, in our human life also, a room is allotted, a country is allotted, a town is allotted, a street is allotted, a house is allotted. And to take care of us, parents are allotted. All the food required for our living are kept in the fridge. First fridge is our mother. If everything is kept in the fridge, somebody must be there who has kept it. You have not brought it, but it is there in the fridge. That means what? Somebody has kept it. Similarly, entire creation, whatever we come across and enjoy in our life is a gift of the Lord. But unfortunately, this fellow doesn't know how to live in the 5-star hotel. He enters the 5-star hotel and first thing he does is what? He tries to open the window. And it is 5-star hotel, he doesn't know. He is from village. So he tries to open the window. The room boy comes, sir, this window cannot be opened, it is AC. Shall I help you how to live in this room? How to operate this AC machine? If he is an intelligent person, he will tell, yes, please teach me. Because of arrogance, he says, don't worry, I take care of. He doesn't know how to operate it. So, temperature increases. Inside AC room, no ventilation, so temperature increases without AC. He doesn't know how to operate AC. So he goes to bathroom, at least have a shower, cool shower. But inside bathroom, 5 taps are there. From which tap, which water will come? You don't know. Above one, side 2, which is hot water, which is cold water. He does, even though it is written, he cannot read in English. So he opens a tap, hot water comes and pours on his head. He gives a shouting. Again room boy comes, sir, what's the problem? Can I help you? Don't worry, you go. Like room boys, monks come and ask the society, can you help? This Guru Parampara, ask the society, can we help how to live in this world? You are living in a all-star hotel, everywhere stars. That's what all-star hotel. And it is flying. Our earth is flying. Mind-boggling speed. But people don't know how to live. How to be with comfort and peace of mind. People don't know. When Sadhu Parampara offers help, because we don't have any work, like a room boy, we are kept by the manager called Bhagavan. So we offer, can we help? Can we help? What is the help you can do? First thing Sadhu says is what? Satyameva jayate nanrutam. Be a truthful person. Don't cheat. Your master card or Visa card should not be a stolen one. First thing. Then Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. One who is disciplined in his life, he will be protected by that discipline. When we say, this fellow says, I am not interested in all these things. Then sadhu say, Dirgha Ishman Bhava. If you don't know how to live in a beautiful creation, you will suffer like a person who doesn't know how to operate AC machine, who doesn't know how to use that room. He will make the entire room ugly and he will shout, and others will be waiting for his departure. எந்த கிராமத்திலிருந்து இந்த கிராமத்தான் வந்தான்னு தெரியலையே. Others will be waiting for this fellow's departure. Similarly, do you know how many people are waiting for our departure or your departure? We don't know. So Shastra says, take help and guidance. What is the help and guidance you can take from sadhus? Know this fact. What is the fact? Idagam sarvam Ishvaraha. Whatever you come across in your life is none other than the manifestation of the one and the same Lord. Know this and you will be a man of knowledge that Jagat is Ishvara Swarupam. Ishvara is Jagat Swarupam. That is what mentioned in the simple looking word Jagat Ishvaraha. Now you understand Swamiji how he uses the Vedantic words to bring out entire Vedantic teaching. More details we will see in the next class. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.